All right, buddy. So here's the deal. Hi, happy birthday. Anyway, okay, so for any kind of plugins, this is basically how I do it, and this is what I was told and read, and it makes a lot of sense, and it's the best way to to use any kind of plugin. Okay, so for example, here's my MIDI track, right? This is the MIDI track that I laid down. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to create new ones so I can show you how this works. So new track, and then if I want to do the piano, I'm going to do a MIDI track, and then I don't ticks or whatever. Name it whatever, and then I'm gonna add multiple tracks because you need multiple tracks. So you got the MIDI track that's gonna be your input for your keyboard, and then you're gonna do a stereo, and then you're gonna do an aux input. So this is where your plugin is gonna go, and this works for multiple things, not just MIDI, but any type of plugin on any sound file you have. So say you have vocals or guitar or whatever, and you want to put a plugin on it, this is what you're going to want to do. That way the original track stays intact, and then you can still add whatever plugins you want onto it. So for this example, we're doing the MIDI. So you got another aux input, or you got the aux input. So the MIDI track and the aux input. So I'm going to add both of these tracks. And there they are at the bottom. So what I would tell it here for my input, shit, I don't have my keyboard plugged in, so that doesn't help. But it's okay. So I would just tell it, this is going to be. I would be telling it my piano would be right here, and it would say predefined whatever, and then I would just tell it whatever channel, and then so I got my keyboard connected to it. You can actually see that up here. So there's my portable grand. That's what it would say. So imagine there's a portable grand there, and then what I'm going to do next is I'm going to create and put an insert on the aux track. This insert is going to be your instrument. In this case, this would be, so I got my CFX Abbey Road, which is a badass plugin for piano. So put that as an insert on the aux track, and then what I'm going to end up doing is I'm going to make this is going to be my output to my speaker, right? And then this is the output for the MIDI track. I'm going to tell that to go to the aux track, which is the testing 2 that I just created down there. So I would tell that to go to testing 2. I always just use channel 1 or 2 depending on how many MIDI files you have. So now this is my MIDI track, and it's whatever you're inputting is the data, and it's going to be sent through the output to this track in through the plugins that you put on here. So I can put multiple plugins here, and then this is your output to your speaker. So 1, 2, 3. That's how it goes, and then output to your speaker. And so that's how it would work for anything. So I can show you something else. I'm going to delete those. So I actually have this other vocal track here that I don't need anymore. So I'm going to create a new track. Now say I wanted to add something to it. So I'm going to do a stereo, aux input. Say I wanted to add a compressor to it. So I'm going to name that compressor. Boom, that's in there. So I'm going to add my compressor here. I got a bunch of different ones. So here's one of the compressors. This is a really good one. I don't know if you use it or not. So I add that to an insert here, just like we did the MIDI track. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to tell this, where I've already got these vocals here, I'm going to tell this output is going to be the track, and it's going to be my compressor track in this instance. Whatever track you put the name for. So compressor. Now this, and see how it automatically updated? This input becomes the compressor, the plugin here. It knows. So you're telling this track that you need to go to this. So there, I got my compressor there, and then I want this output to be my stereo. And so these vocals, they're muted right now, but I can unmute them. These vocals will go and play through this compressor, and you can actually see it happening here. Well, it's kind of dumb spot to start, but it's okay. Why is it not happening? Sorry, I'm retarded too. I'm still learning this myself. This is like, there's no reason why that shouldn't have just done that. So, stuff. Oh, there's nothing on here, so hard limiting. Oh, I'm an idiot. Okay, so here's a good example. I'm an idiot. I soloed this, so it doesn't know to go play it through it, and it was muted. So now it's going to work. So you can see this is limiting now. This runs through that, and it's coming out into this plugin. And so whatever I want to do, I'm going to limit this to, you know, negative. I'm going to put it right at the cusp. You know, clip it. I dare you. And I'll turn the gain way up, make that bitch loud, and it's going to limit it. So that's basically the gist of it. That's how you're going to want to do your plugins, buddy. I love you. Happy birthday. If I can find the stop button.